Hi guys, it's Miss Sick and I wanted to do a video and share with you some of the books that I think you would love this Christmas season. Books, of course, have always been a big part of my holidays, and often people think of picture books, Twas the Night Before Christmas, and books like that for the Christmas season. And when you get older, you don't read as many Christmas books. But I have several that I think you all would enjoy, and I want to share those with you. The first one is called When Santa Fell to the Earth, and it's by Cornelia Funk. She wrote Dragon Rider, which I think is going to be a movie in this new year, and she also wrote Inkheart. And it is about Santa Claus, but you can enjoy it whether you believe in Santa or not. And even though it probably the audience is maybe for 8 to 10-year-olds, I personally love this book when I read it to my children, and I think you would enjoy it too. It has lots of interesting plot twists and things like that. Let me read the cover to you. Santa has landed in a whole lot of trouble. Thanks to Twinkle Star, that marzipan-loving but lightning-shy reindeer, Santa and his caravan have come crashing down in a storm just 2 weeks before Christmas. Luckily, he's literally dropped into a nice neighborhood, but Santa's not safe. The ruthless Gerald Gerominus Gobley Lynch plans to put an end to children's wishes and turn the holiday season into his personal money-making scheme. Only Santa stands between him and his Grinch-like tricks. With the help of kids Charlotte and Ben, Santa will have to face Gobley Lynch and his nutcracker goons if he's going to rescue Christmas. And of course, Charlotte and Ben are our main characters. And their life, they don't have a horrible life, but their family just kind of ignores them. So this book is about them coming to feel important and special. And there's Twinkle Star on the cover. Isn't it cute? So I just really think you would enjoy it. And it is a chapter book, but there's just some beautiful illustrations, which I love. So that's the first one. The second one is Silent Night by Mary Higgins Clark. And I bought this book December 1997. That's before my son was born, so a long, long time ago. And I don't know if you've read any Mary Higgins Clark. It's mystery, lots of suspense, usually murders, those kind of things. I haven't read this in a while, but I don't think there's any murders. But there is a lot of mystery. And it's also a beautiful book with a heartwarming ending and lots of suspense. So it says, when Catherine Dorman's husband, Tom, is diagnosed with leukemia, she and their 2 young sons travel with him to New York during the holiday season for a life-saving operation. On Christmas Eve, hoping to lift the boy's spirits, Catherine takes him to see Rockefeller Center's famous Christmas tree, where 7-year-old Brian notices a woman taking his mother's wallet. A St. Christopher medal tucked inside the wallet saved his grandfather's life in World War II, and Brian believes with all his heart that it will protect his father now. Impulsively, Brian follows the thief into the subway, and the most dangerous adventure of his young life begins. So Brian, the story it bounces back and forth between characters. We get Brian's point of view, we get the mother's point of view, we get the lady who took the wallet's point of view, and also the bad guy's point of view. Truly the bad guy. And it just, you know how I am. It has to have a good ending. And this one does, but it's not obvious how it's going to end, so that makes it very interesting. Okay, now to jump to a child's book. Yes, I know you're too young for Junie B. Jones, but this book, I bought it, I don't know when. I bought it forever ago for my daughter for Christmas. And the first time I read it, I cried at the end. So if you have a young person that you could share this book with, a younger brother and sister, or a cousin, or somebody like that, I highly recommend you read this with them this year. It is awesome. And that is, of course, by Barbara Park. And then we have Kringle by Tony Abbott. This book was a complete surprise. I'd never heard of it. I bought it in December 2007 when and it is the story of Santa Claus from the time when he was, you can see, well-loved, well-worn. I am very careful with books, and this one still has had trouble. Let me just read the back to you. Deep in the land of ghost and frost, back in the days of long ago when elves and goblins still roamed the earth, there was a boy named Kringle. He lived a quiet, solitary existence until his 12th winter, when goblins attacked his home and cast the boy out into the wilderness. Now Kringle finds himself adrift in a strange and frightening world, but fate soon intervenes. Through encounters with elves, pirates, the ancient magic of time, and the dark threat of goblins massing for an epic battle, Kringle begins to realize that he has a destiny to fill, and that even a lone boy can wield the power to change the world forever. So it is about how this boy becomes Santa Claus. And it is told kind of like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. It's definitely fantasy adventure kind of, and it has a little bit of illustrations, but mostly it's just text. It's long, but it's well worth the read, and it's just beautiful. Just the legend of Santa Claus told for teenagers. Okay, and one more book. I know you're going to look at this and think, too young for that book, and maybe you are. I don't know. It is called Santa Claus Inc., and it is just a little fun book. It kind of puts me in the mind of, the Lauren Tarshish books, the I Survived books. It's told about that reading level, and it's short. You can get through it quickly. It said, "Did you know the truth about Santa?" And Santa Claus Inc. is the name of a company. Nick Martin thought he did until he found out that there really is a Santa Claus. Santa Claus Inc., that is. Believe it or not, Nick's parents want him to be Santa Claus. But Nick doesn't think that the Santa life is for him. The reindeer won't cooperate, the elves go on strike, and Nick just can't seem to get the hang of steering that cool anti-gravity sleigh. Can Nick ever escape the North Pole, or will he be left out in the cold? So, and it is about, he actually has a sister, and she's in it. She's not there. But he and his sister traveled to the North Pole. His grandfather is Santa Claus, and it's about him learning about the family business, which is, of course, delivering toys and making them. So anyway, these are the books that I wanted to share with you, and I want to encourage you to read during Christmas. Reading just makes everything better. So the books that I have that are really mean something to me, like Kringle and When Santa Fell to the Earth, I bought copies of those so that I could loan them to you. The other ones, I'm just going to loan you my copies. Come see me Monday if you would like to borrow one. I would love for you to share them with you. And if you read anything interesting over Christmas, let me know, because I always like to hear about new books. And this is my Christmas tree. I thought y'all might want a Christmas video when I talk about Christmas books. So have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you Monday.